Informatica version 8.5.1 configuration. Go to Start, Programs, Services, Informatica Power Center, Administration Console. Provide username and password and click on Login to continue. Administration Assistant window appears. Administration Assistant window will be used to create and configure the repository and integration service. Click on the radio button Power Center and click Next to continue. Provide the user repository name and enable the Enable Version Control option. Select the type of the database in which the repository is to be created. Provide the database username followed by the password and connection string and click OK to continue. Click Next to create the repository. The repository is being created now. We have successfully created the repository. Now we'll create the integration service. Provide the integration service name to be created. Click Next. Leave this option as it is and click OK to continue. Code page is being set for the integration service. Now we have successfully created the integration service. Go to the node and you can see both repository and integration service are up and running. Now we will see how to configure the resources for the repository. There are two types of resources. One is system level resources, the other one is user level resources. System level resources are the resources that have been created as part of the initial installation and configuration. So in my system I have installed Oracle and MS SQL Server. So I am enabling these two resources and disabling all the other resources. This has been introduced from the version 8 onwards to enhance the performance of the repository. So now I have disabled all the unwanted resources and updated the wanted resources. These are the user level resources in which a user have the access to create them. And the process are the one which will be created as part of the initial installation and configuration, and these are the server variables that you can set in this process configuration. Now we'll move on to the next security level domain operations. Here you can set the privileges for the user, you can create the users, you can delete the users, rename the users. Now Informatica has created a default administrator user as part of the initial configuration. Now we'll see how to create a new user called Info User. Click on Actions, Create User to create a new user. A Create User window appears. Here you can mention the username, password, confirm password, and the full name of the user. Give a brief description of the user followed by email and phone number. Click OK to create the user. We have successfully created the user. Now we will see how to set the privileges for this user. Click on Edit to set the privileges, and there you can see the privileges tab. Here there are two types of privileges. One is repository level privileges, the other one is domain level privileges. Now I am setting only the repository level privileges and leaving the domain level privileges. This user will have the access to the Power Center tools, client tools, as well as he can run the workflows, he can monitor them and rename the workflows, delete the workflows, etc. But he doesn't have the access to create the users, set the domains, create the domains, and all repository level activities. Now we have successfully set the privileges for this user. Now we will move on to installing Power Center client version 8.5.1. Select the language to install and click OK. Click Next. Select the option Install Power Center Client version 8.5.1 and click Next. Click on Install to install the client version. We have successfully installed the client version. Now we'll check the connectivity between the server and the client. Go to Start Programs and open the Repository Manager tool. Add the repository. We have created a repository called ETL rep services. Now you add this repository in the repository manager tool with the administrator username. Now connect to the repository with the administrator user and password. We have successfully connected to the repository. Now we will see how to create a folder in the repository manager tool. Enter the folder name and click OK to create the folder. We have successfully created the folder. Now open the Power Center Designer tool and connect to the folder that we have created just now. Connect to the Power Center Designer tool using the administrator user and password. Now you can see the ETL templates folder that has been created in the repository manager tool.